Hello and welcome to this methodology pill on ESOL lesson frameworks. Today we're looking at leadings and warmers. I'm Robert Martinez. Last time we looked at receptive skills, productive skills, and language-focused lessons. And by this we mean lessons where grammar, functions, or vocabulary is the main aim of the lesson. And we looked at the different stages. We saw that the first three stages are common to all types of lessons when we follow a guided discovery framework. We looked at the fact that we would start a lesson with a leading slash warmer, that we would then have a pre-teaching vocabulary stage if necessary, and that this would be followed by a skimming or listening for gist stage. And the reason for this is because in receptive skills, reading and listening, then the text, we would have a text which naturally then we would approach first from a general point of view, starting with gist, general understanding. Same thing for listening. In productive skills, speaking or writing, we would probably have a text again, which is a model text, of what we then want the students to either talk about or write about. And then in guided discovery, in language focused lessons, then in guided discovery, we would probably have again a text which embeds the grammar or the functions or the vocabulary that we're going to cover. Hence, they're sharing or having these three stages in common. Now, let's just very briefly review the stages of our receptive skills lesson. So we would, after doing some general comprehension work, we would go into scanning or listening for details, so deeper into the text. After this, we would be looking at drawing inferences, if possible, drawing inferences or reading between the lines. Obviously, this is not always possible. Not all texts allow it. So it is if possible. And then we would finish the skills work with post-skills stage goal extension, um, where we would have the students naturally react to the text they read or listen to by either speaking or writing about it. Obviously here it says no language work. And then we would give students error feedback and clarification, maybe some error correction in terms of the language that they used. In language focused lessons, then we would, after these three stages, we would then look at the language embedded in the text in here in the guided discovery, and it would be a series of graded questions in a worksheet related to the language embedded in that text that we initially looked at. Then this would be followed by feedback and clarification, where the teacher clarifies and uses the feedback, uses the information gathered during the previous stage to give clear feedback and clarify any potential doubts before we allow the students to then go and do some control practice to show that they can use the target language accurately enough. Then we would have one more stage for freer practice so that students can use the target language more fluently. And then we would have again feedback and clarification, as you will see in a minute. In terms of writing, is very similar. We would have a genre analysis task where we would basically ask the students to help the students to notice the key and distinct features of the text that they will be writing later. So it's a model that they analyze, followed by a writing task based on the model that they saw in the genre analysis. And then there would be a follow-up task, which would be a natural task in relation to the type. So for example, if they were writing emails, a natural task would be for them to write a real email or to reply to the email they wrote or they received from their partners. Then in a speaking lesson, we would have preparation where basically the teacher focuses on one aspect of speaking. There are many aspects, so it would be appropriacy or connected speech, an element of connected speech, or functions, or fluency, or accuracy, and analyze the task that the students are to to carry out in the speaking lesson. This would be followed by controlled practice for accuracy of the speaking task, and then again freer practice for fluency. Now these three, for speaking, writing, and function guide discovery, also share in common that they all, and also reading and listening, share feedback and clarification at the end, so that we can give some error correction. We can provide students with a nice wrap up of the lesson by allowing them to see whether they performed well or not. Now let's move on and focus on the aim for this methodology PL, which is ideas for leadings and warmers. Now, a leading or a warmer is an opening. So we want that to remember that creative openings have a very positive effect on learning, because they increase concentration, they increase imagination, they stimulate curiosity, they foster motivation, and they develop creative responses. If we start the lesson and lead the students into the context or the text in a creative way with a nice leading, a nice warmer, then all the added benefits of increased concentration and imagination, curiosity being stimulated, motivation being fostered, and then developing creative responses would be a bonus. Let's look at some ideas for leading warmers. We can have a Wordle. For those of you who don't know what a Wordle is basically a word cloud. We could have hot and cold words. We could show a song or a video snippet. We could have topic related questions. We could show the students visuals. We could let them listen to topic related noises, or bring into the classroom realia. Realia are things that are real, like props related to the topic or the text of the lesson. We could also play charades with specific items of vocabulary from the text, or we could have word color, so asking students to classify words according to color. Now, I've prepared some examples of each of these ideas. Let's start by looking at a Wordle. So first of all, I chose this text. No specific reason. This text is from New Cutting Edge Elementary, page 21. And for my elementary class, I want them to read and listen to this text. So before they do that, I created a word cloud. And the way I did it was I just went and typed all the text into the Wordle. I went onto wordle.net is the website. It's free. It doesn't require you to subscribe nor anything. I typed up all the text from this text, and then I got this word cloud. What I would do, or what I do sometimes basically, is just to ask the students to work in pairs or in groups, small groups, and then to, looking at that word cloud, try and predict or think about what the text is going to be about. You may be thinking that this specific word cloud is a giveaway because you can see that favorite thing really and God are really big, and this is because the website basically what it does is that the words with the highest frequency are bigger, words with smaller frequency get smaller. You may be thinking, oh, that's a giveaway. Well, remember that this text I took is from New Cutting Edge Elementary, for an elementary class, so it wouldn't be that transparent to them, and it would still, I've used it only once already, and it worked. Students they couldn't come up with the fact that it was the favorite things altogether. So there were lots of discussion and predictions, and they were all on the right track. And a couple of the students actually did know that it was about favorite things, but it didn't kill the buzz, and is usually a nice idea. Obviously, you can make it as difficult as you want. So this is one idea using a Wordle. Let's go back and then let's look at, let's see visuals, for example. Now, you can show them visuals of things that are in part of the topic in general, not necessarily in the text. For example, in this case, I showed them a picture of my dog, of my running shoes, my iPad, my phone, my fountain pen, my Passport Ultra storage device and my laptop, my favorite laptop. And so I asked them what these things have in common. Once we have established that they are my favorite things, then I would ask them to work in pairs and make a list of their favorite things before moving on. Another possible idea could be related topic questions. Topic related questions. So, for example, what are your favorite things? Make a list, and now tell your partner why they are your favorite things. So it's very simple, couple of very clear questions related to the topic, which would serve also as a diagnostic tool. You can see what language is coming out when they are trying to complete the task, and this will obviously inform later parts and stages of your lesson. Another idea could be showing them letting them hear a song or showing them a snippet of a video. For example, in this case, I chose the sound of music because there's, if you may remember, there's a very quick part where Julie Andrews sings my favorite things, and because the topic is my favorite things, then I would show them this, try and elicit whether they understand or remember, or whether they've seen the movie or not, show them a picture, have a movie, a snippet ready. If they're quite strong, then I would just let them listen to it. For example, here.
Now, when anything bothers me and I'm feeling unhappy, I just try and think of nice things.
What kind of things?
Oh, well, let me see. Nice things. Daffodils. Green meadows. Skies full of stars. Raindrops on roses. And whiskers on kittens. Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens.
Now, you may be saying, well, what if they don't know the movie? If they don't, that's not a problem. I had a class who didn't have a clue what The Sound of Music was. And so all the same, I gave them a very quick idea of what the movie was. And I explained that what I wanted them to do was to try and listen and see if they could catch any words from the song. For weaker lessons, weaker groups, then I would use a video like this one.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel with noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on.
Okay. Obviously, whatever you want to do, I mean, the idea here, this is just an idea of what you could do when choosing a song or a video snippet for them to get them going. I mean, it adds variety, it makes them think. The important thing is that it doesn't become a vocabulary lesson on its own. So, for example, in my case, I had to be very careful here, and then just make them focus on whatever it was that they could understand. If they couldn't understand anything, then establish the fact that that we were looking at their favorite things. So this is just one of the many possible ideas. Another idea would be, for example, word colors. Now, how does that work? It's very simple. I would show them this and then give them 5 or 10 words from the text, and then I would ask them to classify them into colors. Obviously, there's no right or wrong answer. The idea here is just to stimulate discussion, and that they talk to their partners for a minute or two before you actually go in and give some feedback. It's just an idea. There's no right or wrong answer. You want to give them maybe 5, maybe 10 words. Obviously, more might be a little bit tricky, and also you want to make sure that it doesn't become a vocabulary lesson, so you need to choose the words carefully, keeping your students in mind. Another possible idea would be topic-related noises. This one has usually worked quite well with my classes. Obviously, show them this picture, elicit listening, and then remember that all of this is happening before they have actually read the text or listened to the text. So I make them listen to the noises, and then think about, try and identify the noises. Now, this is a 1 minute long audio file which I created by looking first, reading the text, identifying some of the potential noises in the text produced by things in the text, and then getting noise files from sound files from clip art and the internet, and then putting it together. In the past, this has worked really well because it actually really makes students think about what the noises are. Then they can get into pairs and try and list them, and I must say that in general this works quite well. So this is another activity. Remember that the noises here are related to things that are said in the text. Not all the noises are in the text, because otherwise it's too clear. So there are a couple of distractors there amongst those noises. Now, another activity, another idea apart from topic related noises could be also realia, so bringing in real things or props into the classroom. Here again, for example, if you bring your own things, I'm using the same slide because it is my favorite things. So I would either show them visuals or just bring them in my own backpack and then take them out of my bag to add a little bit of drama to it, and I'm sure that it would, students in general, they tend to appreciate the effort and that you bring things, and it's more memorable for them when they see you taking lots of things out of your backpack. Obviously, bringing your dog to school might not be a very good idea. When I was living in Spain, I did that for an intermediate class. I brought my dog in. We were talking about giving instructions on how to take care of your pet, and it was a very interesting lesson, and students really remembered it way after the lesson. Another idea to finish off could be also topic related questions. For example, you ask them what their favorite things are, why they are their favorite things, and then to talk to their partners, as we said before. And you could also play charades. So basically, either you do it yourself and you try and elicit the words from the students. Obviously, being at an elementary level, this may not be possible, but if they say it in their first language, then that means that you did it well, and that all you need to do then is provide the English word, and having established meaning first, you will be able to bridge that gap. Or you can have them work in groups or in pairs. Something I do when I work with lower levels is that I have their translation in their L1 ready just in case they don't know any of the words. So the person miming the word, then if they don't know it, I just show them the translation and then they do it. And then exactly the same thing, it also serves as a diagnostic activity. Okay, so let's go back and let's look at the last idea, which is hot and cold words. Basically, what I would do is show them these two pictures or similar pictures to make them think of what hot and cold is, and then again give them a set of words, 5 from 5 to 10 words from the text, not more or maybe less, maybe fewer words, for them to classify under either hot words or cold words. Now here again, as with the color words, there's no right or wrong answer. This is just an opportunity to make them speculate, think, and try and justify why they classified them one way or the other. Now, we've looked at Wordle, at visuals, at realia, at topic-related questions, topic-related noises, charades, hot and cold words, word colors, and then song and video snippets. Now, your task is to write down at least 3 different ways of leading into a topic or context or text, apart from the ones that you've seen in this methodology pill. Brainstorm other possible ways and add them to your list. Tell a colleague about these next time you see them in the classroom or at school where you work. Create a list at your place of work where everybody contributes to it. That would be a possibility. And continue to enjoy your English language teaching experience. Thank you very much for watching this screencast methodology pill, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a few extra ideas now for your leadings and contexts, and stay tuned for my next methodology pill. Thank you.